Let's talk about something that affects pretty much everyone, the rules that are supposed to keep you safe at work. We're going to break down where these rules come from, who's supposed to enforce them, and, really importantly, what your rights are if things go wrong.
So when you walk into your job, have you ever really stopped to think about who's on the hook for your safety? Is it you? Your boss? Someone else? Well, the truth is, it's a whole system involving global agencies, your employer, and yeah, you too. Let's start at the very top. Okay, we're beginning with what you could call the Global Safety Blueprint. This is the big picture foundation, where international standards get set for pretty much everyone, everywhere.
Check out this number, 187. That's how many countries have all agreed to follow a single set of safety standards. They're all members of one key organization, making this a huge worldwide agreement all about protecting workers like you and me.
And that organization is the International Labor Organization, or the ILO for short. It's an agency of the United Nations, and its mission is crystal clear: set the basic rules for health and safety to protect workers' rights all across the globe.
So how does the ILO actually do this? Well, they use two main tools. First up, you've got conventions. Think of these as the big goals, the what everyone needs to achieve. But then you have the recommendations, which are like the detailed instruction manuals. They tell you how to actually do it. Put them together and you get a complete framework for safety.
Okay, so that's the big global picture. But how does that translate to your actual workplace? Well, it all starts with a very clear set of duties that fall squarely on your employer.
Your employer's to-do list is pretty long, and it covers everything from the building you're in to how you feel at the end of the day. They have to provide safe equipment, make sure work processes are safe, give you proper training, manage your hours so you don't burn out, and, this is a big one, give you all the protective gear you need.
And on that last point about gear, the ILO couldn't be more clear. It says employers must provide all that stuff without charging the employees. Let me say that again. Your safety should never, ever come at your own expense. It's non-negotiable.
But look, safety isn't just a one-way street. It's not only about what your employer has to do. It's also about the part you play. And, just as importantly, the fundamental rights you have that protect you.
Think of it like a partnership. On your side, you've got responsibilities, right? Like following the rules and reporting anything that looks dangerous. But in return for that, you get some incredibly important rights. The right to be trained, the right to have a say in safety matters, and, this one is huge, the absolute right to walk away from a situation that you believe is immediately dangerous without getting in trouble for it.
So, what happens when a company fails to hold up its end of the bargain? What happens when the rules get broken? Well, the system has some serious teeth, and there are clear consequences. Ignoring health and safety laws isn't just a bad idea. In many places, it's actually a criminal offense. And that can trigger some very serious legal action, not just against the company, but against its leadership too. The enforcement usually escalates. It might start with something called an improvement notice, which is basically a warning that says fix this by this date. But if the danger is really bad, they can issue a prohibition notice, which shuts down that activity immediately. And for the most serious violations, it can lead to prosecution, which means big fines or even jail time. Complying with the law, though, that's the baseline. That's the absolute minimum. But the best organizations, they aim a lot higher. They're not just trying to stay out of trouble, they're shooting for the gold standard of safety.
And that gold standard often has a name, ISO 45001. Now, this isn't a law. It's an international framework for being excellent, a playbook for building a truly world-class safety culture from the ground up.
And here's the simplest way to think about the difference. The law is the must-do. It's the floor, the non-negotiable minimum you have to meet. ISO 45001, on the other hand, is the great to-do. It's a choice to go way beyond just being compliant and to really lead on safety. So in the end, every workplace has to follow the law, but only the best ones decide to build a culture of true excellence. After hearing this whole breakdown, from the global rules all the way down to your own personal rights, it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? How does your workplace measure up?